Sure, the princes at the top have the best armies, but the ones we're going to be talking about today are arguably even more dangerous. We have a toddler summoning a dragon, a cult leader brainwashing people with love, a literal ghost haunting her own twin, and many more displays of Togashi's insane creativity. Meanwhile, we'll also break down the rigged system, the specific madness of each prince, and the massive lie the black whale is sailing into. Let's start by explaining the queen system a bit. King Nasubi says his 8 wives are equal, which is an absolute lie. The system acts like a meat grinder, where your rank determines your survival. Queen Unma sits at rank 1 controlling the military and spy networks, while Queen Oito at rank 8 starts with nothing. Since the queens play through their children, Unma's kids get guns. Oito's kid gets a target on her back. So, let's start by talking about the 6th prince, Tyson. She is a bit peculiar. In a deathmatch full of assassins, she's writing a Bible about love. Her mom seemingly hates her, so Tyson made up this philosophy where love solves everything. Her Nen beast is a gross, heart-shaped thing that spawns these little one-eyed lizards. If you read her Book of Tyson, one of them attaches to you, draining your aura in exchange for a feeling of pure happiness. It seems harmless, but it's actually a cult mechanic. The happiness depends on you following her rules perfectly. Kurapika's teacher, Izunavi, took the job because she only hires handsome men, and now he is stuck in the middle of this fanaticism, trying not to get brainwashed. He sees the trap. Tyson is just farming worshippers. Then there's Luzurus. The guy sits in his room, vapes, and talks about legalizing weed. He looks completely checked out. And that's the trap. He acts lazy because he knows being underestimated is the best shield on the ship. Tsariednish writes him off as garbage, and Luzurus is perfectly happy to let him think that. He didn't bother learning Nen when he could just buy protection. He bankrolls the Cha'ar Mafia, so he has gangsters and hunters like Basho doing the dirty work while he stays clean. Even his spirit beast follows that efficient logic. It conjures bait based on whatever the victim wants most. The moment they indulge that craving, the trap snaps shut. There is a solid theory that this specific ability is what's currently cursing Fugetsu. He looks harmless, but the guy is laying landmines from his couch. Salé-salé treated the succession war like an open bar. His mum, Queen Swinko, babied him his whole life, so he honestly thought he could just vibe his way to the throne. He spent the voyage chasing girls and getting drunk, completely ignoring his own spirit beast, which, to everyone's surprise, was a big mistake. The beast was actually terrifying. It pumped out a gas that brainwashed people into loving him. If he had half a brain, he could have done something similar to what Tyson is doing. But guess what? He doesn't have a quarter of one. Instead, he got dismantled by a professional. Benjamin's soldier, Rihan, has an ability called Predator. He camped out, watched the gas beast work, and birthed a counter creature specifically designed to eat it. Once the beast was gone, Salé-salé was defenseless. They took him out before he even knew the music stopped. You won't catch the 9th prince, Halkenburg, slipping like that. He started out as the pacifist of the family, marching straight up to the king to try and resign from the war. But Nasubi shut him down cold. That rejection broke something in him, making him realize the only way to actually end the violence was to become the monster who wins it. He brings a specific skill set: physics genius and world-class archery. He applies that to his Nen, manifesting a literal bow and arrow out of pure aura. But he needs a team to make it work. His guard detail is full of true believers. He packed the squad with die-hard political supporters who hate the corrupt monarchy just as much as he does. They want to see the system change, and they are ready to die to make it happen. His spirit beast takes that loyalty and fuses their aura into a single massive battery. So, when Halkenburg draws that bow, he channels the entire group's will into the shot. It creates an unblockable arrow that punches through armor, walls, and literally anything else until it hits a target. Theoretically, nothing stops it. When it hits, it triggers a soul swap. It takes the consciousness of a loyal follower, or even Halkenburg himself, and forces it into the enemy's body. He used this mechanism to pull off the craziest gambit of the arc by shooting Benjamin's head of security, Balsamilko, hijacking his body, and letting his own original body die. Right now, the rest of the family thinks Halkenburg is dead. They are holding a funeral for him. That misunderstanding gives him the perfect cover to tear Benjamin's operation apart from the inside. We hit a different kind of horror with the 10th Prince twins, Kacho and Fugetsu. Kacho spent the early chapters screaming at servants and causing scenes, but that bratty persona was a calculated screen to draw attention away from her sister. It worked until they tried to escape via lifeboat and discovered the hard way that leaving the ship is a death sentence. Kacho died in the attempt, but her guardian spirit beast, Without You, immediately morphed into her exact duplicate. It's now walking around pretending to be her, protecting Fugetsu, who has no idea she's holding hands with a ghost. That secret is the only thing holding Fugetsu together. Her teleportation ability, called Magical Worm, is useless now because it requires Kacho to open the exit, and the backlash is physically destroying her. She is cursed and draining fast, while her bodyguards desperately maintain the illusion that her sister is still alive. Prince Momoze is a brutal story. She spent her time knitting and looking down on her mother and brother, actually pitying them because she thought their fear made them unfit to rule. That arrogance blinded her to the fact that Queen Savanti was already making moves against her. Her mother stripped her defenses to the bone, taking nearly every loyal guard and sending them to protect Marayam. Her beast sped up the process by manifesting as a giant mouse that harassed people into agreeing they were free so it could hijack their bodies. That ability drained Momoze's stamina so aggressively that she feels fatigued and goes to bed, which leaves her even more vulnerable. A traitor named Tufty took advantage of that vulnerability to strangle her in her sleep, turning the assassination into a quiet disposal. King Nasubi barely acknowledged the loss, coldly dismissing his daughter as foundation for the tree, which is just royal code for fertilizer. Hanzo was the only one who actually grieved, and although he wasn't there to stop the murder, he hunted Tufty down later to settle the score personally. All that stolen security went to Marayam. He looks like a toddler playing with a hamster, and he is, but his beast is a problem. The moment Momoze died, the thing hulked out, growing massive and covering itself in spikes to reflect Marayam's fear. It messed with the physics of the room. The beast set up a bizarre barrier around room 1013. You can walk out, you can make phone calls, but you can't get back in. Anyone trying to enter gets teleported to an empty duplicate room. From the hallway, everything looks normal, but inside, they are completely cut off. Hanzo and Biscuit are stuck guarding a dimension that technically doesn't exist on the map. By the way, people think he's beyond Netero's secret child. That explains the mom's obsession and why a literal baby has such an overpowered defense. Keep an eye on him. Then you have Wobble, the 14th prince, a literal infant thrown into a death match. Queen Oito had absolutely no leverage here. No army, no spies, so she took a shot in the dark with an online bodyguard listing and managed to fish out Kurapika. And that one hire completely wrecked the balance of power. Kurapika ignores the politics of the throne to focus entirely on keeping this kid alive. She constantly reaches out to hold Kurapika's hand, which was actually the catalyst that got her mother to fully trust him. Her guardian spirit beast is the wild card. We haven't seen it yet, but it leaked this heavy, dark aura early in the trip that put Kurapika on edge. The leading theory is that it's a counteractive type, something that only triggers when she's directly attacked. Until then, Kurapika is using every dirty trick in the book, from stalling with Nen lessons to brokering ceasefires with older princes just to buy her one more day. The irony is that all this fighting might be for nothing. The ship isn't even going to the Dark Continent. The V5 nations cut a backroom deal to dump the passengers on a fake island, a new continent, while they sneak off to loot the real thing. Kakin is being played. I don't think Kakin, and mainly Beyond, are gonna fall for this, since Beyond has been planning this for decades now. All that remains for us is to wait and see what plans that jailed old man has in his head. So, if you watched this far, you probably liked the video a bit, so don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. It's just the beginning, and that was it for today.